Welcome to Slovakia, welcome to Bratislava, welcome to OC Tehelko, the venue of the very first 750 ITSF tournament in Slovakia and on Rosengart tables. I hope you've been enjoying great foosball in our live stream in the last 2 days, and we're spicing things up a little bit. We're adding live commentary and interviews with interesting guests, and we're starting off with the most important one because he's the person responsible for this whole tournament, the president of Football Union Slovakia and the organizer, Jozef Horčiak. Jozef, welcome.
Thank you, Marek. Welcome everybody at our tournament.
Yeah,
First one.
Yeah, exactly. First one. I haven't introduced myself, so I'll start with that I'm a former football player. But you can do it, yeah.
Yeah, it's a former player, really good from the past years.
Yeah, 16 years ago I retired, so
but you were vice world champion?
Yeah, but it's a long time ago. Yeah. Anyway, so former football player, but you're host for this weekend, and that's the most important thing for you. But the good thing is that I understand football a little bit. But the person that does everything around football in Slovakia is Jozef. And I would like to ask you, how did it come up? How did you come up with the idea of organizing and applying for a 750 ITSF tournament? And how difficult was it to organize?
Okay. In past years, it was a little bit hidden, this option to organize this tournament on a recognized table, as its Rosengart tables are. But we come up with this. Sport Commission of ITSF approved this tournament as 750 because we were thinking about it that last seasons, especially this Slovak Rosengart Open tournament, we had a great lineup with world-class players. Maybe it's not the most visited tournament during the season, but we had really world-class players in men and also in women field, so it was great, and we wanted to rise it up to have a better level. I think it's good for this tournament.
Yeah, it is, and you're talking about the past list of players, but let's talk about this year's, because it feels like it got to a new level, just like the tournament, going from 500 to 750, and now it feels like the players bought the idea, and it feels like there is a really great lineup. So can you tell us some of the names, what people can look forward to if someone is just tuning in for the live commentary section or for the most important matches of the weekend?
Yeah, we have as a past year, previous year, now we had a lot of top players from men and women, as I said, and if you want the names, there are the champions from Austria, Czech Republic, and also Germany. They are the main players. I don't know, Burmetlers, Wilford, I don't know. Everybody. Yeah, Wiesinger, Breuer.
We checked the list, and it is out of the top 13 of men's ITSF ranking. It's 10 players, so 10 out of top 13. The 3 best women in the men's section. I think only 8 guys are missing from the top 25. So that means that apart from a couple of names that couldn't make it, it feels like there is a complete list of the top players in the world. That is, I think, huge. Hats off to you as an organizer as well.
Yeah, it's a really nice event. I think this is how should every ITSF season start.
So tell us what we can look forward to. We've been playing for almost 2 days now. Now we're starting the live commentary section. So what can people look forward to? What matches do we have in store for them?
Finally, we sit here in a half of a tournament to start with commentary and with the matches. We moved to a semi-final of classic doubles. It will be followed after this introduction of this tournament for the public, and Yeah, after that we will try to finish mixed doubles and open doubles as we started today.
Yeah, the most important competitions, the most important matches of those competitions. I think you haven't missed much, even though maybe it wasn't commentated. We did try to bring you all the important matches from the main table live anyway, and now we're hoping to bring in more guests. Last question for you, because I think the first match that we're about to commentate is going to start in about 5 minutes. So last questions. I know that this venue is quite specific, but quite special as well. You tried it last year and it feels like it's a really good combination. Tell us maybe how the partnership or maybe this whole venue worked out for you.
Oh, well, it's it's sometimes it's risky to organize it in a shopping mall. I from the past I remember that I went to some tournaments in Austria and Hungary in shopping malls, and I didn't feel it really good. So I was afraid about it, but I think in this Tehelko shopping mall in the center of Bratislava, we have a really nice venue. There is a food near a grocery arena extra for our players. It's open. Everyone can bring what they need. They can see it. They can watch the screens with 3 final tables. Okay, maybe not everything works for 100%, but maybe for 95.
I have to say that when you told me that you would organize this in a shopping mall, and we actually started the conversation about the live stream and the commentated matches and so on, and we came to visit the place and so on, I was like, are we sure? And then you said like, no, don't worry, I've already seen it. And then we included this final area, which is like a small football pitch in the middle of the OC of the shopping
we
mall.
had to fight for the 700 category, and also we had to fight for this arena.
Yeah, but this arena, makes it very special because you can see that the top players are separated from the rest. There is a net which kind of separates it, but you can still watch it from outside. We have stands, we have screens, and the players feel safe here. They, have their own private zone for the matches, and it allowed us to create this beautiful stream, which is great as well. So we're hoping that you're gonna enjoy it, that you'll like what we're about to bring you. Hopefully we'll manage to do it in English with all the guests and everything so far. I hope that you like what you've seen. And
do you have a special lineup of guests?
Well, I try to kind of make you create a lineup or persuade those guests to come here. We talked to a couple of them. Some we'll see. I mean, I do have a couple of guests for the first matches, and then we'll try to...
What are the names we can await, or who will be the first?
The first one is, because we're actually covering the semi-finals of classic doubles, and we have still 2 Slovak teams playing, we kind of thought that it would be nice to start with the Slovaks, as they know, the place, as they know the tournament, and they can maybe bring some insight for local fans as well as the foreign ones, and maybe you can get to know some Slovaks as well, because still it's a Slovak Open. So the first one will be Niko Šurina, our current Slovak #1 in the ranking, who is playing the second semi-final. So maybe he will give us some tips about how he might play if he moves on to the finals.
It will be good for him to watch the opponents from the next match.
I can maybe give him some tips as a commentator, what to do. He'll see it from a very different perspective. So yeah, it's about time. I think in about 1 minute we should have the teams coming to the table and start preparing for the match. So thank you for the interview. Thank you for opening this tournament, and thank you for the tournament itself. Good luck with the rest of it, because it's a lot, and I know that there's a lot of players expecting your 100%, and I think you're doing a great job. So thank you.
Thank you. I thank you, Marek, that you're covering this. Yeah. So I'm sure you can await something special.
Yeah, let's hope. So thank you for now, and we'll be back in a while with the live commentary of the match.
Okay. See you.
Welcome back, everyone. After a short break, we're here with the first live match, including the commentary, and this is my first guest. You can meet the guy we're going to be following in the next match, in the second semi-finals, Niko Šurina. We already talked about you. Current Slovak #1, current semi-finalist of the classic doubles. It feels like the life is good for you now. How do you feel?
I feel pretty well. Well, I had a tough match in mixed against Stefan Burmetler, brother of Daniel. And so far it's going well, except for the last match. And we have very interesting match ahead. This is gonna be very interesting. We have top Slovakian player. I mean, yeah, I'm like number one in Slovakian ladder, but it doesn't mean that I'm also the best player in Slovakia. So Šimon is for sure. Šimon is for real number one. He competes internationally. He has good results. So yeah, and also we have Martin Douša, which is also like the most elite Rosengart player that we have. He's from Czech Republic. So we have top Rosengart players competing quite deep in a bracket already. So I'm pretty sure both of the teams wants to win. So we will see how this goes.
Who would you rather play if you... I mean, you're playing a great team yourself. You're playing Kevin Hunsdorfer and Björn Hoffmann. So, I mean, no easy pass, but still, if you continue, you know, your good run, if you went to the finals and if you could choose an opponent, I know that people rarely do that, but who would it be?
It would be Kevin, I guess. I mean, I didn't play against him on Rosengart, but still, Rosengart is home table of Šimon Vároš, so he's more comfortable with the table, I believe. So yeah, but it's gonna be tough, and one way or another, it's gonna be tough match for me as well.
Any guesses who's gonna win this one between Šimon Vároš, Peter Cingel, and Daniel Burmetler and Martin Douša?
That's a tough question. I think it will be race. It will be in overtime, in my opinion.
Okay.
It will go 5 games.
Well, I don't know if you've seen the previous match of Šimon and Peter.
No, who did they play against?
Well, they actually played against Thomas Haas and Stefan Burmetler, which was a super tough match, and I felt they were slight outsiders in that match, and they played really well, but the deciding points, and we talked about it with Šimon afterwards, was that every 4 points in the sets they won, it was Peter Cingel scoring from defense.
Nice.
So they obviously have a strategy. Do you have a similar strategy with your partner?
Not really. We don't want to make a drama like that for sure. We are trying to win as fast as possible. But was it classic or was it open?
No, that was classic.
That was
so
classic as well?
Yeah. I mean, it's great that you have that option of, giving your defensemen more chances. With classic doubles, maybe even you can give me your take, because it doesn't affect you as much with you shooting pin shot as your regular shot. The snake shot shooters, they have a tough time choosing what to do, and they have to adjust their game. For you, it's quite natural, but the thing that is different is that you don't start from your 5 rod, from your 5 bar, but the defensemen start. So there is much more pressure on him, isn't there?
On me or
on him, but
goalie?
Actually in a way on you as well, because when I spoke to Šimon, he said I barely have any balls on my 5 bar, so it's really tough to find rhythm.
Yeah, goalies are more important in classic than in open category for sure. And also you have to fight much harder for every possession. You have to be good with rebounds, all of that, and I think we have a huge advantage as Rosengart is supposed to be our home table, so we have a feel for the table. So I think we are taking that advantage against international players for sure.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how Šimon adjusts his game, and maybe even Peter adjusts his game to Martin Douša, because they played players that are not as used to Rosengart before. While Martin Douša, as you said, is one of the most experienced Rosengart players, so there's going to be a difference. He's also a very, active player. His rhythm, his pacing, it's all very fast. So even those loose balls that Šimon is so great at catching, and usually that is what wins them the match. I even told him that the previous match he did not have a high percentage on his 5 bar or 3 bar, but he caught every single ball flying around him, which is a huge advantage in foosball in general, and I feel especially in these tough situations even more. But Martin is very similar in this, so there might be a huge battle ahead of us.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
So it feels like the guys are ready to start. Let's hope they use their tablet to upload the scores or update the scores, because so far it feels like they've forgotten. I'm going to remind them. Okay, instructions are given. Let's hope we can deal with the technical issues, and we should be ready to go. It's actually really interesting to see some of these players, actually all of these players play, because the last time I played them was 16 years ago before I retired. So I was even saying that I've never actually played against Peter Cingel when he was in defense, so I have no idea how he played there. It was really, really nice seeing him play, evolve as a player, because he used to be purely forward. Now he played really good defense against Stefan Burmetler, and as well, shooting from defense. I think he might have scored like half of the goals of the team, which was super nice. And Martin Douša as well. He was always this fast-paced player, but I would say that he had like a couple of options. But seeing him this tournament, I see that he evolved as well. He's so talented, he's so quick, he has multiple options suddenly, and I'm looking forward to seeing him shoot anything else than snake shot, because I've never seen that actually.
What is he actually shooting in Classic?
Well,
I'm not even sure.
I think it's spin shot, but I'm looking forward to finding out, so that's going to be interesting. And it's good to see these guys, because I remember Šimon when he was a kid, because I actually never met him when playing foosball, so I only remember him coming to me once I was retired, asking for some advice. And now he's not even an adult, he's an experienced player, so that's one thing. And Martin Douša, who might be a very similar age to me now, one of the most experienced players. It's funny to see, and it's great to see those guys still playing. So let's move into the match. One of the things we have to say is that these are all top world players as well. And again, a great start from Peter Cingel. A lot of these active shots that he produces end up in a goal, even if it's not a perfect shot. You can see the pressure that he applies, and I feel that's super important, especially in classic doubles, as we talked about.
And he creates opportunity for Šimon to fight for the ball as well. Peter Cingel is very dangerous when he cares, and it looks like he cares now. There you go again.
Yeah, Šimon told me after the match, I'm good at picking good goalies. That's my skill. I mean, I kind of laughed it off, but now I see that he might be right, actually. 2 for 2.
First possession on a 5-bar for Šimon.
Yeah.
And there you go. Well, a bit of luck from beginning.
Yeah, when it goes in, it goes in.
And they took timeout.
Yeah, timeout is actually one of the topics that we've been discussing. Even in my era, some players used to, carefully save it for the later stages of the set or of the match. Some players, they tend to, break it up in the middle of the set, or whenever there is like a streak on the other side. How do you prefer to take your timeouts?
Well, it kind of depends. I'm not really using them very often. I use them, the regular way on like very important balls. And also I have this trigger inside me when I feel like I start to rush my decision making, then I have this tendency to take a timeout, and it might be even on a second ball or something.
It feels like luck is evening up a little bit. I mean, again, the pressure from the defense is so crucial in this game.
Douša is defending very actively.
Yeah.
What happened there?
It felt like it was a goalpost, but again, another shot that maybe did not go as originally intended, but pressure again from Peter Cingel. And they're great as a team. Yeah. Exactly, they're great as a team. They've been playing together for some time, and as Šimon told me before the match, he sees Cingel getting better each match in defense and them working better as a team. I heard the story of them trying to play for the first time one of the biggest tournaments, like Šimon choosing Cingel for the biggest tournament of the year. I don't know whether it was World Championships or something.
Okay.
And they've never played before together, so.
But it happened just recently, right?
Yeah, quite recently. And Jozef, who was here before you, told them that, but Cingel is not officially a pro player because he hasn't played the whole season. So he had to start playing his games, his tournaments, and wow, another one. What a form from Petr Cingel. Well, anyway, what happened was that they played the first tournament together and they lost both matches super early, and they were like, is it really a good idea to play together? Well, this match seems to, have its own idea about how it's gonna go.
It's pretty chaotic so far.
Yeah. But again, that's something that happens with, starting from 2-bar. Because, it's not the regular 5-bar passing, creating opportunities on your 3-bar. It's completely different, and it changes the dynamics of the game.
Yeah, it's very hard to catch your rhythm in the game because those possessions on 5-bar are quite rare. Pass.
Great pass, yeah.
Okay, so he shoots like regular pin shot from the ball. Interesting. Shimon is kind of playing 90.
Yeah, he did this in the first game as well that we covered. He was looking for his shot. I mean, in the beginning, Šimon wasn't sure whether he would try pin shot or, he was going for push kick, then like a fake, and then he went for pull shot, and he finally settled on a pull shot, and it felt like a good option in the end. So far, he's been deciding. For you, this is not a problem, right?
No, it's my main technique, so I'm comfortable with it.
Nice pull shot from Martin Douša. He obviously has a great repertoire as well. I'm impressed with how much he's improved since the era that I played in. He was a dangerous player, but he's much more versatile now.
So how strong was he in your era when you were actively playing?
Well, he started getting better and better, and he was one of the top players in Czech Republic, and I would say he was starting to be very recognized worldwide. But he had, I would say, one option. He had chip pass and he had a snake shot, and that was it. So and he had the fast pace, which was super dangerous, and lots of lots of balls like this, I have to say, because he was playing so actively. It always ended up in your goal. He had those cross snake shots, and the super quick ones when it was pretty much impossible to know what he was gonna do. So I had very even matches with him. I feel like it might have been 50-50 in the end. When I played well, I had a tendency to win. If not, he destroyed you with his game. But this is a completely different player. This is I would say, all-rounder with, everything in his repertoire, and it's great to see how they evolve. I mean, it's been 16 years, so.
Yeah, but he still keeps those, he still plays chip, he still plays, snake shot, and even the fast-paced game, he keeps it. It's just he evolves in terms of his own decision making, because he rarely takes more than 7 seconds on his 3-bar, right? So it kind of didn't change, but his decision making. That went through development for sure.
And it's the options that we're talking about. I mean, we know that he's a fast-paced player, but once you have the options, it's completely different. And I was even talking to someone saying it's unbelievable to see these guys still playing. And once I've only seen him play a couple of shots in the regular competition, I thought I'm thinking if I would still be, having fun in the game if I only played the same thing all over again. But then I saw him playing this, and I'm like, okay, now I understand, because he really, really is adding stuff to his game, and it's so good to see that these guys are not only, playing what they already know, but learning more, adjusting to the game, and actually using it in events like this. I love that there is classic doubles. I love that there is 2-ball rollerball and all these fun events that add something else, something different to the game, and it's good that these guys don't just stick to what they know, but they keep improving, and you can see why he's a top player in the world. I mean, we're talking about guys that are, if we're going from top to bottom, the top one of those is Daniel Burmetler, world number 9, then Šimon, world number 10. Martin Douša is Martin Douša is world number 5, sorry.
Well, there you go.
And then we have Peter Cingel, who is, I think, world number... Well, he was still in top 20 or somewhere. I cannot find him right now. Anyway, he's still one of the top players, so...
He scores again.
Yeah. They're getting... sorry, Peter is world number 36, but still a top guy, so, you know, no outsiders here, I would say. Oh! Everything seems to be going
You
against.
can already see set
Yeah.
faces.
It's very tough especially for Daniel Burmetler, who is, you know, constantly in action, but hasn't contributed as much as he would have hoped. So,
Even though he's one of the best goalies in the world right now.
Yeah, definitely. And again, another shot for Šimon Vároš on a 3-bar. The balls keep coming back, and it's again one of those things that we talked about. If you can catch the loose balls, you know, even luck is on your side. You're actually, you know, going for your luck, and you know, he's giving himself the option.
Yeah. That was close. Also more pressure on goalies. Like in Classic, you are supposed to have 10 seconds on every rod, right? So
Yeah.
And Rosengart is not so. If you are a pull shotter, it's not so easy to set up the ball correctly. You will like spend a lot of time in there. So they are forced to take quick decisions.
Yeah. And you know what you're talking about. You used to play Tornado for what, a year and a half?
It was like 3 years.
3 years, okay. Sorry, even more than that. So you can compare it. I mean, you grew up on Rosengart, but now, you know, it feels like Tornado affected your style quite a lot.
For sure. It helped me a lot. And I like the table. It's very reliable, which I don't feel like that's the case with Rosengart.
Yeah.
Like, even every pro player that you ask, people struggle with control on Rosengart. It's not impossible. It's still easier than Garlando, I would say. But it's a hard table.
Yeah. But it gives you so many options as well.
Yeah. It's one of few tables where you can play everything, every possible technique, everything is playable on Rosengart. Great ball pass.
Yeah. And again, Peter Cingel, before applying the pressure, coming up with a new option from defense and a great pull shot. Yeah, you know, it's easy or much easier to get the pace, to get into the pace when you have a defender like that, when you can rely on him. Once you start the set with 2-0 up, you know, you can relax, and it's great for Šimon to have these options, and then he can create.
Yeah, he tries.
And again.
Rebound, try the same thing. Oh. Great catch.
Great catch, yeah. Great save. I mean, it does make a difference knowing that your opponent is going to shoot within 3, 4, 5 seconds, that he's not going to keep it there for 7, 8, or 10 seconds. And it feels like that's what Cingel is using right now. Ah, there was a hole.
Yeah, that was a good read.
Fantastic pass. The wall passes are super fast by Šimon Vároš. Yeah, I knew that one. That one was coming. I do remember matches like this, though, when you're leading 4-0, feeling like I can create, I can, you know, enjoy it, do whatever I want, and suddenly it becomes a tense match.
It is very dangerous. Leading 4-0.
Yeah.
It can turn bad very quickly.
And another one of those loose balls landing directly on the 5-bar of Šimon Vároš. He's so good at this. Oh, one of the few balls that he doesn't catch when it flies around. Great shot.
Great shot.
He has great options as well. I think this is a good idea. I mean, you need to change something. You need to start switching. You need to, show that you're willing to do whatever it takes.
But it's hard to adjust, when there is, to be honest, there was a lot of luck on the side of Slovakian team. There is not much you can do about it.
Yeah. But still, it felt like Martin Douša wasn't passing there well, did not, really create his own game in the, 5-bar or 3-bar. So maybe something for a change, just to, give it a go.
Yep.
Try something new.
Ooh.
Great
crazy rebound. Ooh. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Almost there, I believe.
Yeah.
No, it was not there.
Yeah, great stop from Martin Douša. He read him really well, even timed it really well. Šimon is super fast, he's super strong, he loves to choose the long ones, so a great read from Douša. Oh, and the first mistake from Peter Cingel. And
Daniel is very strong pull shooter as well. But he's forced to take those quick decisions.
Yeah, that was a good
time
timeout.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a great timeout. I mean, they were leading 4-0, had so many options to close it out. I think that's now with the change and with everything, with the pace slowing down a bit, now there's time to, gather your forces, just think about what you should do.
Yeah, the set is not over.
Yeah.
It's not over yet. So.
And it's still 4-1, so once you forget how you got there, that it was 4-0 with so many options, I think it's always better to start from scratch, 4-1 is a great score to be at. Very well read in the pass by Burmetler. It feels like they are under pressure. They feel the pressure because a lot of their choices are quite quick, I don't want to say that they're not taking their time, but it feels like, especially, nice one. That's the one that Šimon was going for. Anyway, this is the better option, to keep your time. Now it's up to you to slow the game because the start was super quick.
That was a bank.
Yeah. I love how he starts the motion as if it was a pull shot and then he switches it to a bank shot. It's super tough to read. Really good pull shot as well from defense. As we said, top players, all 4 of them. And you can see the skill that they have. It's mostly about how they use it as a team. Nice one.
Great shot.
And suddenly it's 4-3, just like we talked about.
Yep.
You're leading 4-0, you're trying, 3, let's say, creative shots, and suddenly it can be 4-3 and the pressure is on you. Oh, perfect pass. Great job by Šimon.
Okay.
Yeah, they handled it well, but it wasn't an easy set in the end. It started quickly, started easily, but they had to battle for it, and a great teamwork in the end decided it. But
that was a very important pass, the last one.
Yeah. So, from what you've seen so far, those two playing, it feels like the odds are, that if you go to the finals, you might be playing another Slovak team. So, what do you see from, or what do you gather from what you've seen so far?
Well, I don't know. It's kind of tough. There was a lot of luck involved. I mean, yes, there was clear balls, clear. They scored clearly, but also I don't know. I'm not taking much, I would say, from this match.
All right.
And I know the players as well. Like I played both of them plenty of times, so I kind of know what to expect from them.
So what are your expectations from this tournament in general? Because you are, I know you said that the best player in Slovakia is still Šimon Vároš, but you are Slovak #1. You know, this tournament is part of the Slovak ranking system as well, so you're gathering points to that rank list.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's a great chance to, you know, compare your game against the best players in the world. So, you know, having 10 out of the top 13 players here, you know, what are your expectations?
Well, I hope that I'm gonna face like most of them. At least I want to play against them. In the better case scenario, to beat them. And yeah, I'll just hope that I will go deep in every category that I'm competing in. That's about it. I'll try to win every single one of them. That's for sure. Nothing is changing. So,
which one do you feel the most confident in, or you know, what are your expectations in?
I think
each
the
of the
open
category?
categories, both like open doubles. I have a very strong partner, which I play with him for many years already.
Yeah.
We've been preparing for this tournament for quite a while, and we are playing good so far. So hopefully we keep it that way. And also my favorite is singles every time. That's my main point of interest. So I'll see how that goes. I'm seeded in singles, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it for sure. We are playing it tomorrow.
Your football story is really interesting because it felt like you were about to retire a couple of times, and then you went to Canada, which was supposed to be the end, but it was the start in a way. So do you feel like those foreign, you know, experience and the time that you spent abroad playing football, even in the USA, actually helped you with how you're playing today?
I hope so. Yeah. It's in the end, it's all experience, right? I faced many players even in the United States. Like I've been competing quite a lot. I was coming like 4 or 5 times a year to United States for big tournaments. And in the end, like I said, it's all experience. So even if it's not like, I cannot tell you like the specifics, but for sure it gave me a lot. Great shots so far, both teams.
It feels like Douša and Burmetler decided that this was their better chance. So, you know, in this lineup, Burmetler playing as a forward, Douša in defense. I've actually never seen Douša play in defense, but I mean, it's hard stopping Petr Cingel when he's on this run. Unbelievable. And again, they're playing catch-up. It has to be super tough, you know, going down in both of the early sets, and then the same thing happening in the third one.
Yeah. Martin Douša and Burmetler, they decided it's not over. On the other side, Šimon and Petr Cingel decided that they want to close it. So, yeah.
Perfect pass. And again, the combination of him starting from the same position, doing so many things.
So many options.
Yeah. I know he has a great shot, you know, even from that, you know, pin shot position, he can go straight with the top player, then he can, you know, go for the long one, then he can go for the pull kick, all of these options. But, you know, sometimes it feels like the easier one in the most important matches might be the best ones.
Yeah, you have to simplify for sure.
Yeah. And it's good if you have an option to surprise someone, but, you know, winning matches and being one of the top players in the world means playing something, you know, steadily, repeatedly, taking your time. It feels like Cingi got to the point where he feels like he should score from every single ball that he has, which, you know, only shows you his confidence. But, I mean, such great pull shots from every one of these players. Now Daniel Burmetler showing, you know, what he has in store. Yeah, luck maybe turning a bit. Even they have their own shots. It's super important, super important to, you know, get the lead and to at least try to keep it for a while. They've been playing catch up the whole match. Now there's a chance to go ahead. fantastic pass. Quick reactions, quick thinking.
That's
Yeah.
two goals from Martin Douša in this set.
Great work from defense, and actually, I do remember him shooting the the push shot from defense even before, but it definitely wasn't this good. I mean, it got better and better. But I have to say that good timeout. I think that is a good time to take it. But as I was saying, I remember that players shooting push shot from defense were always more difficult for me to read and to react than those playing pull shots. Do you have the same situation?
Yeah, I have the same impression as well. For some reason, it seems like you can hit those sprays like easier than on a pull side. And even though it looks like the same position, even the defense should be the same, but it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's different for sure.
And to me, it's maybe even about the experience, because 90% of the people shoot pull shot, and suddenly you have a push shot shooter and your team doesn't know how to react to it sometimes. Oh, great bank shot
That
again.
was outside bank.
Yeah. Really good defense from Douša. He actually stopped a couple of those already. Both bank shots, then some shots from Šimon Vároš.
Great shot.
Wow. And it's so tough to read again, because he could have gone bank, he could have passed it, he goes straight, and it's tough to be everywhere. You need to choose, and Cingel has so many options.
And using all of them.
Yeah.
Great decision making on his side.
Yeah, but the first set goes to Burmetler and Douša, and that's what we've been waiting for. You were saying it's gonna go to the fifth set. It looks like it might be.
But now, yeah.
Yeah, we still have great game ahead of us, which, I mean, from the neutral point of view, that's the best thing that could have happened. Feels like the Slovaks had it maybe too easy in the beginning. Now they're up for a regular game, and they need to step up a bit. Feels like even Burmetler and Douša found their positions now. It's a bit of a different game. You're starting from scratch in a way. You need to, get used to new position, new types of shots, new pace as well, because the combination, I have to say, Martin Douša, one of the fastest players, Daniel Burmetler, one of those that takes his time, so you're adjusting, and I have to say I'm quite impressed with Martin Douša, especially how he takes his time in defense, how he thinks about the game. It's a completely different approach than what we're usually used to in offense, so
yeah, he's a smart player for sure.
Hats off.
Even though even though his game doesn't look so fancy, but it's very efficient and it's very smart.
Yeah, and
no doubt about it.
He's showing his options as well, which is, I think that's why these classic doubles are great. They show the real potential. Oh, we're starting the fourth set, and again a chance for Šimon Vároš to get one of those loose balls. He's been losing them as of late. It's one of the things that might frustrate him. Not this one.
But you can see Daniel already taking his time. He's not taking those quick shots. Yep. That was a shot that Šimon developed just recently. But it was supposed to go in a bigger angle. I think he executed that one. Great shot.
It feels like the forward is in defense this match in the Slovak team. All the credit to Peter Cingel. I mean, Šimon is a fantastic player, but especially starting from defense, as we talked about, it just changes the dynamics of the game, and suddenly Cingel has all the options to start to shoot. So, it's a different chance to put your mark on the game, and he's doing just that. Oh, that's the one. Don't know whether it was supposed to go in like that.
I believe it was supposed to go straight. But
yeah, I think so.
Shimon.
But that's the angle that he was going for before. So. And another great start for the Slovak team. And it even feels that the ball spends most of the time at Cingel's rod. You know, that he's the one controlling the game, which is a good position to be in. I don't think that defenders are used to that that much.
yeah, a lot of possessions, much bigger impact on the game.
When Šimon talked about him not being able to find the rhythm on 5-bar, now you see that the rhythm definitely got to Cingil's 2-bar. Great catch.
Another rebound.
I feel like the shorter one, or the 3/4 one, is there open most of the time, but Šimon's going for the long one most of the time, or the straight one. Douša doing great job of analyzing that and keeping that closed. Even if it doesn't go in, it often ends up on Šimon's rods, which
creates opportunity for him.
Which is exactly what you want from your defender, especially in classic doubles. Fantastic pass. And a great shot.
Great shot.
The long one is there, you just need to time it well.
It's there, yeah. But it also seems like Douša is leaving the long one open from beginning, and then he closes it up as the time is running. Another possession for Šimon.
When you compare that, he almost always gets it, at least to the middle zone. So very rarely it ends up on Burmetler's rod, giving him chances to score. And usually it's either a goal, 5-bar or 3-bar of Šimon Vároš. But now we jinxed it, as we tend to do. Really good read by Burmetler. But again, the stats are definitely in the Slovak team's favor.
Yeah. The MVP will go to Petr Cingel for sure for this match, no matter the outcome. He already done so much.
I mean, it's not over yet. We might still be in for a surprise, but yeah, so far definitely. This is the 5-bar rhythm that we talked about. I mean, he very rarely gets it there, and suddenly, the pressure is on you.
Yep, you are fighting hard for every ball, trying to catch it, and then all of a sudden you have possession and you are supposed to slow it down.
Now they're asking us for a replay, actually. We're going to communicate with them. Give me a second just to find out, whether this was in or not. Okay, the decision is that we're going to be a VAR system as well, but we cannot do it, while doing the broadcast. So what we have to do is actually ask the players to watch it on our YouTube channel, just rewind and watch, which gives us some time to talk about the match and other stuff as well. I have to say that I'm quite, I don't want to say shocked, but surprised of how the game has developed in those 16 years that I haven't played, because it feels like it's pretty much the same, but I feel that more and more people have the chance to win now, while 16 years ago it was there, most of the players knew how to play. You had a couple of those great players, then you had players exactly like Martin Douša, who was one of the top players but had limited options in terms of what he can do. But they keep getting better and better, getting to those situations when they can choose from their repertoire. But at the same time, it feels like the number of people capable of, playing for the trophies or playing for, better positions at the tournaments is bigger and bigger. And I feel that this is part of the sport becoming a bit bigger in a way. I know that there was some kind of a lump on the road. I do remember once we retired, even in Slovakia, and I feel that maybe in some sense even abroad or internationally there was kind of a stagnation, but now I feel that the game found its place. It is getting better and better.
Yeah, it's coming back.
Yeah, and there are more and more players, and especially what I would say is that there are players who are bringing something new, are evolving their games, and that the top of the game is broader, definitely broader.
Was there like more players in your era when you were playing? How many people were coming to tournaments?
It depends, because there was, I played for like 7 years on tour, let's say, and I remember when we started, there was just it was a very limited number, but then it started getting bigger. We had lots of juniors, which I feel is not the case now.
Yeah.
That this is one of the things that changed, but what I do feel is that we had that boom, then it kind of died out, but now, even though it might not be the best numbers we've ever had, but what's happening is that we have we have players like Cingel who can score from any position, and 3 match points for the Slovak team, unbelievable. But still, what I wanted to say, just to finish the idea, was that I feel that it might not be the best numbers we've ever had, but what happens is that we have a lot of really good players, and it got like stabilized, which is super good. In our prime time, I feel like there were 4 players playing for all the trophies, and we could play internationally, but that was pretty much it. Now it feels like there might be 20, maybe even more players, even from Slovakia, capable of playing good games against the best players, even at this tournament. Maybe on their table, but still, they're competitive.
Yeah, there is more very likely there is more pro players, and they also have like better resources nowadays, right? Like if they are really interested, they can find all these matches online. The streaming services get better, and if there are like more pro players, it means there are more mentors for newcomers. They can develop like quicker.
Already a chance to close this match up by Šimon Vároš. He went for something new again, pin shot from the central position. Good defense by Douša. Now a chance.
Great block, great rebound.
Yeah, but so many balls ending up on Šimon's rods.
Maybe.
Slingshot.
That
to
might
close
happen.
it.
That was not the case.
This is one of those things that you talked about, that pull shot, it's so tough to set up, and that people kind of lose their patience setting it up, and they just go for the rolling one, and that one to me is so much easier to read and so much easier to block. This one was set up pretty quickly, and a great option for
close it out.
Yeah,
and he can.
What else?
Unbelievable. Such a great performance.
Yeah. The MVP definitely goes to Peter Cingel, and the face of Šimon Vároš says it all. Like, again, I did my job, but it was up to you, mate. Yeah, so we have the first finalists of this tournament. It's the second day, but we do know that there will be a Slovak trophy, even though there is a huge international competition here, as we talked about, 10 out of top 13 players in the world, and the first finalists are Peter Cingel and Šimon Vároš. Great job. Slovak Open, we already do have the Slovak mark on it.
It stays
which
home.
Is great.
That's
Yeah.
great news.
Yeah, let's hope it does stay home. I
Let's
mean,
hope.
we're objective, so we're not rooting for anyone. But if you win the second semi-finals, that means that it's staying home definitely.
Yeah, that would be great. Slovakian finals would be great. I'll do my best to make it come true for sure.
Okay, so just to give us something to look forward to, what would you say is gonna decide in your match against Kevin Hunsdorfer and Bjorn Hoffmann? How do you see your chances in that match?
It will be a tough match. I don't know. I didn't play Kevin. I played against Bjorn yesterday in mixed. We won, but it was a tough match, and they were switching a lot. Bjorn was blocking me very well, and this will be the case. He will be playing as a goalie most likely.
Nope.
No.
Kevin played as a goalie the whole tournament
really?
so far. So apart from one time that when they switched, at least from what I've seen, because they played mostly on our main table. So if they start like they used to, which I think they will, Kevin is playing in defense. And just to give you a heads up, his shooting is very similar in terms of success to what Tingy has shown us. So yeah.
But I think we'll see. Maybe if I manage to score on Kevin, they will choose, because I think Bjorn, he can block me very well, and he knows it.
Okay.
So we might see that happen. Yeah.
All right. So if you were a betting man, would you bet against yourself or for yourself?
No, I'll bet on me.
Okay, that's great. That's great to hear. Thank you, Niko. It was great having you here to start this off, to help us commentate this Slovak match with a Slovak player. And good luck to all the Slovaks, not only them, but, to you in the next match. We're looking forward to seeing you in that position after this position, but this one was great, so thanks again.
Thanks. Hopefully I will put a good show on a stream.
Good luck.
Let's see. Thanks. Good luck. Maybe I'll come back later.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.